Welcome back. It's time for game 2. Don't give me no flack. Oh, man. Hey, so I lied to you guys earlier about what time the game was starting. Apparently, sometime during that last game, it had been announced that our game was going to start at 8:30. There was another game that had to be played before ours, evidently. So here we are, coming to you from bedtime at the Nelson Center here in Springfield, Illinois for game 2 of the Capital City Freeze Tournament for your Pekin 10U AA Dragons. We're off to a good start. Got 2 points in the first game with a score of 6-1? 6-1, something like that, I think it was. So the next opponent is the Springfield Kings on their home territory. They're down here playing in the away Blacks for this game. Peeking down here, warming up in the white outfits. We'll rip through the roster here in alphabetical order. Number 19, Grayson Blevins. Number 5, Sterling Burks. Number 11, Easton Cook. Number 7, Braxton Courts. Number 6, Duncan Hill. Number 48, netminder Adelina Johnson. Number 16, Kian Ledbetter. Number 25, Jackson McCoy. Number 29, Nash Moldenhauer. Number 33, Jet Nafziger. Number 77, Houston Richardson. And number 12, Noah Viviano. Pekin 10U AA Dragons head coaching staff consists of head coach Neil Viviano, assistant coaches Chip Hill and Barry Moldenhauer. And on the bench, we got Mr. Brian Blevins. And in the penalty box, yeah, that's right, folks, he's back, Mr. Dustin Cook. We need to start a fan club for him. Anyway, no change on tomorrow's game times, but Sundays did change. So tomorrow morning, as of now, we're still facing the Rockets at 9:45 a.m. and then the Mid-Mo Tigers at 3:30 p.m. Subject to change. We will see. So the consolation game, I think, got moved up on Sunday, November 9th to 10:30. Consolation game. Something like that. And then 12:45 would be the championship on Sunday. So we'll see where we fall after tomorrow and today's results. Thanks again for watching, folks. I know it's late, but hey, what would you rather be doing than watching some 10U AA Dragons at 8:30 at night? I can't think of anything better to do. All right. Dragons will get their final powwow underway, and we'll be underway here shortly. I was going to tell you some stuff. What was it? Oh, yeah. Still got the 10U AA Dragons firearm raffle going on right now. If you're interested in buying a ticket to that for a Sig Sauer P365 9mm. Get a hold of one of our Pekin 10U AA Dragons parents or coaches. Let them know you're interested. Tickets are still available, but they're selling out fast, and we're only doing 200 tickets total. So get in on that if you're interested. I think we're drawing that November 29th. And single tickets are $20 a piece. You can get 3 for $50 in a combo deal. All right, let's go Dragons! This is Pekin Dragons 10U AA Hockey. We're going to have Grayson Blevins at center, Noah Viviano on left wing, Duncan Hill on right wing, Nash Moldenhauer and Jet Nafziger on defense. And we're off. Blevins for the face-off. Knocks it across the neutral zone. Kings try to knock it back. Blevins sneaks it in on the near side. Centers one up. Uh-oh. Here comes Moldenhauer. Keeps it in the blue line. Sends one right up the slot, and the Kings will pick it up. Back over to the near side, and Dragons can't hold it in. Moldenhauer sends it back across the neutral zone, and Kings intercept that in the neutral zone. Back to Nafziger, and he's going to race it across center ice. Slaps it over to Grayson Blevins on the far side. He'll try to dangle one up through the crease. Gets it over to Noah Viviano over here on the near side in the Kings zone. Tries to center one up. Blevins got in the way of that. And Viviano battles it into the near corner. Puck comes back up to Nafziger at the blue line, and he gets it back to Blevins. He'll send a shot wide, and it'll bounce over to Duncan Hill. Trying for a backhander. It gets deflected back to the back wall, and Viviano tries to center one up. Blevins is in front. Uh-oh, puck snuck through there. Over here to the near side. Nafziger shoves it back in deep, and over to... Uh-oh, can't hold it in there. Offside Dragons. 10:44 remaining in the first period. Still scoreless. Signal in here is less than ideal, folks. I'm going to have to upload the first game from tonight when I get home, and this might not be any different from that either, so we will see. Hopefully you're having an all right time watching this. And McCoy shoves it down into the near corner in the Kings zone. Kings pick it up, slap it up the near side boards, and the puck spills out. Got a guy off to the races here. Burks is all over him. Save Johnson! Burks sends the rebound back up to Cook, and puck squirts out to the neutral zone. Courts is in a foot race for it, and puck comes back to McCoy. Passes it over to Easton Cook on the far side. Over to Courts, sends one up the slot. Oh, just wide of the net and to the back wall, over the near side. Back to Courts again, sends another shot off of a Kings shin guard there, and here come the Kings back across the neutral zone. 3 Dragons on them. Burks will turn it around, carry it across the neutral zone. Back into the Kings zone, sends a shot through some traffic. Save Kings. Over to the far side boards and back to Easton Cook. Back to Burks. He'll slam it in. Oh, tried to slam it in deep. Bounced it off of a King player. McCoy comes back to strip the puck. Carries it over to the near side in the Dragon zone. Just can't quite get it out of the zone there. And Richardson comes in to help. Kings advance towards the net, send a shot, and goal Kings. Dragons down by 1, 9:14 remaining in the first period. And we'll have a face-off at center ice. Blevins at center, Ledbetter on left wing, Hill on right wing, Nafziger and Moldenhauer on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Kings advance across center ice. Duncan Hill got in the way there, and Blevins tries to track it down through some traffic. Puck goes over to the far boards in the Kings zone, and he'll race back for it on the back wall. Kings get there first. Duncan Hill comes in to help. Back over to the far face-off circle, and Kings come out of the zone with some speed. Duncan Hill's right at his heels, and Nafziger sends it in deep. Back into the Kings zone. Blevins is trying to chase it down. Puck comes back to the blue line. Oh, here come the Kings with some speed. Nafziger's on him. And Moldenhauer back to defend. Nafziger strips the puck, skates it across the neutral zone and down. Over to the far face-off circle, sends a shot. And just wide of the net, over to the near side. And Kean Ledbetter's trying to hunt it down. Blevins comes over to help him. Puck stays in the Kings zone. And offside Dragons. 8:21 remaining in the first period. Face off in the neutral zone. Dragons down by 1. Courts for the face-off, pushes it into the Kings zone there. Puck squirts back out, and Courts will carry it back in. Slams it off some King players, and oh, can't find the puck there for a second. Back to the blue line. Burks holds it in. Looking for Courts, and here come the Kings. Got a guy off to the races, and Burks is back to defend. Save Johnson! Back to Burks on the back wall, and he'll send it over to the near side. McCoy comes in behind him to help. And puck comes back to the blue line. Kings try to shove it in deep, and here comes Burks. Carries it back out up the far side. Tries to center one up, looking for Cook or Courts, and inside the King zone we go. Back to Burks in the neutral zone. Over to Cook on the near side, and he'll tip it in. Sneaks in around a King player, bounced it off of a face mask of a King in front of the net there, and Richardson will hunt it down, looking for Courts in the center, and here come the Kings. Back to Richardson. Almost held it in there for a second. Shoot it back across the neutral zone, and the Kings advance. And back to Richardson again. Back to a King player, back to Burks on the far side. Cross ice pass to Jackson McCoy. He'll send it back into the neutral zone, looking for Easton Cook on the near side, but the Kings got there first. And where's the puck? There it is. Oh, yeah, Courts out in front. Goal, Dragons! Courts ties the game. 6:43 remaining in the first period. Dragons and Kings tied at 1.
Up, Dragons!
Blevins at center, Viviano and Ledbetter on the wings, Nafziger and Moldenhauer on defense, and Blevins for the face-off. Kings push it into the Dragon zone, just wide of the net there, and Moldenhauer gets there first. Sends it off the near side boards, looking for Viviano. He'll try to tip it up the boards. Puck comes back to the far or near corner, and puck comes off the boards there. Blevins sends it out to the neutral zone. Kean Ledbetter skates it across center ice and into the Kings zone. Kings dump it in deep to their own zone off the back of their net, and Viviano's in hot pursuit. Kings off the near side boards. Moldenhauer just offside. You got to be inside the blue line, bud. Courts at center, Cook and Richardson on the wings. Moldenhauer and Nafziger remaining on defense. Courts for the face-off. And puck gets lost in his feet there. Easton Cook will help it into the zone, and he'll send it up to the slot to a King player over to the near side, and back to Cook. Cook and Courts battling for it. Back to Moldenhauer, and he'll send one through some traffic. Ooh, stick save. Kings over to the near corner, and they'll send it up the near side boards to Courts. Courts sends one off of a King, and they'll take it around the back of their net over to the far side. Nafziger holds it in the zone. Skates it up. Nope, got a guy on him there, and Richardson comes in from behind. Drives it up into the far corner. And Kings try to pass it back up the far boards. Here comes Courts, sends a shot through the crease over to the near side, and Easton Cook's going to race it down. Sends it back over towards the net, and the Kings will pick it up behind their net over to the far side. And cuts in at the face-off circle, comes back out across center ice. Nafziger back to defend. And he'll push it over to the far boards. Puck goes back behind the back of the Dragons net and over to the near corner. And Dragons pushing it up the near side. Here comes Moldenhauer with some speed. That doesn't make any sense. All right. We'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. 4:45 remaining in the first period. Dragons and Kings tied at 1. Go over to that one. There we go. Blevins at center, Hill and Viviano on the wing, McCoy and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Back to McCoy, cross-ice pass to Burks, and he'll carry it up in, send it up into the King zone deep. Blevins tries to race it down, and puck comes over to the far boards. Oh, fired one over the top of the net and over to the near side. Back to Burks. He'll peel it off the boards, and the Kings will stop it in the face-off dot. Back to Burks again off of another King player, and Duncan Hill's going to race it down in the far corner. Whoop, left the puck behind there. Back to McCoy at the blue line. Sends it in across the face-off circle into the back wall. Kings pick it out, and Viviano's going to race it down on the near side. Back to Burks. Burks through some traffic again. Back to Blevins. Fires it up the slot. Glove save, Kings. 4 minutes remaining in the first period. Face off in the Kings zone. Courts at center, Richardson and Ledbetter on the wings, and Nafziger held it into the zone at the blue line and sends it back up on the far side boards, back to the back wall, and back to Richardson. Tries to center it up. A little out ahead of Nafziger there. He'll race it down, all the way down in the Dragon zone. Cross ice pass. Nope. Lost the puck there. Puck squirts out to the neutral zone, and Kings are onside, going to send it all the way down in deep. Moldenauer sends it off the near side boards. Richardson comes in, and back to Moldenauer again. Kings hold it in the zone. Moldenauer swats it out to the neutral zone. Offside Kings. 3:13 remaining in the first. Dragons and Kings still tied at 1. Face off in the neutral zone. Courts at center. Richardson and Ledbetter remaining on the wing. Nafziger and Moldenauer on defense. Courts for the face-off. Puck comes back to Moldenauer. Going to skate it around the back of the referee there. Sends it across the neutral zone and into the Kings zone. And Courts tracks it down in the neutral zone again. Over to the far side. And we got Nafziger racing down for it deep in the Dragon zone. Around the back of the Dragons net. They'll drive him to the outside boards. And the Kings' parents didn't like that. Yeah, right. Back to center ice. Ledbetter slams it into the Kings zone deep, and no icing. Courts is racing him down behind the back of the Kings net. He'll pick that pocket there. No, he won't. Puck comes up to Moldenauer at the blue line. Sends a shot, looking for a loose change there in front of the net. And Richardson will hunt it down on the back wall. Sends it back up to Moldenauer at the blue line again. And, Moldenauer's off to the races. And we got a guy out front. Whoa, right through the crease and right in front of the post. Back to the near side. Goal, Kings. Shot one from the near side boards. Dragons down by 1 again. 1:53 remaining in the first period. Face off at center ice. '33 is Daddy, sponsored by Rockstar Original Energy Drink. That's right, folks. Need a little fuel to get home tonight. Blevins for the face-off. And back to McCoy. Over to Burks on the far side. And McCoy strips the puck in the face-off dot on the far side. And Blevins comes out with it. Sends it back out to the neutral zone. Kings track it down. Try to get a cross-ice pass there. And here comes McCoy with some speed up the near side. To Viviano, he'll try to dump it in. Puck's loose at the front of the blue line there. And McCoy. Nope, back to McCoy again. And Kings are going to try and race it down. McCoy's all up in his business there. And back to the blue line. Kings held it in. Back to blue line again. Kings held it in again. Send it up deep into the near corner. And puck squirts out to the neutral zone. Blevins snuck in behind him, kicked it out in front, and he's off to the races. All the way to the back wall. Duncan Hill tried to sneak it back. And back to Burks at the blue line. Fan on the shot. Back to Hill. And off the side of the net over the far corner. Back to Blevins. Back to McCoy on the near side. That's not good. Another King off the races, sends a shot, save, Dragons! Ooh, that was loose between her knees there. 31 seconds remaining in the first period. Dragons down by 1, face off in the Dragon zone. Courts at center, Cook and Ledbetter on the wing, Nafziger and Moldenauer on defense. Courts for the face-off. Back up to the blue line. Kings can't hold it in. Yes, they do. Back to Nafziger. Sends it back up to Courts in the neutral zone. And he'll carry it in. Tries to fire one up the slot. Hits a King player, and they'll pick it up on the near side. to Cook at the blue line. Fired it off of Courts, and he'll rocket one up the slot there. Kings spill it back out. That's going to do it for the first period of play, folks. Dragons down by 1 after 1 period with a score of 1-2. Let's go Dragons! Period 2 starts now. We're going to switch sides and go the other way. Looks like we're going to have Braxton Courts at center. Easton Cook and Ledbetter on the wings. Moldenhauer and Knapziger on defense. Eddie Johnson in net. For period 2 of game 2 of the Capital City Freeze tournament, this is Pekin Dragons 10UAA hockey. And Courts for the face-off. Over to Cookie, and he'll carry it in. Straight into the Kings zone. Sends it over to the far corner, and Kings get there first. Send it up the far side boards. Cook gets in the way, stops it, gets it back to Duncan Hill, and Courts. Ooh, almost had a shot there. Back to Moldenhauer at the blue line, and over to a King player on the near side. Knapziger tries to hold it in, but he'll race it down in the neutral zone. Turns it around, and enters in on the near side. Sends a shot, and that'll go over to the far corner. Over to Cook on the far side. Sends another shot behind the net. Here comes Courts. Through the crease over to the far side. And back to Cookie. And he's battling for it in the far corner there. Got an arm up in the air. Looks like we'll have a Dragons penalty kill for a minute 30. 11:11 remaining on the clock in the second period. Easton will get to say hi to his dad for a little bit. Face off in the Dragon zone. Courts at center. Blevins on the wing. Moldenhauer and Knapziger on defense. Courts for the face-off, and Kings try to get a shot. Knapziger's in the way, and they're slapping at it. Courts got a stick on it. Over to Knapziger. He's going to pick it up. Skated around the back of the Dragons' net and over to the near side. Sends it up to the blue line, and Courts is off to the races. Here we go. Sends a shot. Save Kings. Rebound. Loose puck in the crease. Oh, dang it. 10:47 remaining in the second period. 1:05 remaining in the Cook penalty. Blevins at center. Courts on the wing. Burks and McCoy on defense. From the face-off, McCoy sends it into some Kings traffic. Blevins tries to pick it off. Courts will chase it down in the far side rather. Sends a shot. Save Kings. Kings send it back to Burks at the blue line. Sends a shot through some Kings traffic, and Courts send another one up. Back to McCoy at the blue line. Sends it in deep. All the way to the back wall. Kings will get there first. Blevins is racing after it. Oh, back to Burks. Oh! And back to a King player. He's going to dump it out, pass it to himself off the far side boards. McCoy's racing back to defend. Save Johnson. And McCoy will pick that up. Send it off the near side boards, and Burks will swat it up the far side. Back to a King player waiting at the blue line. And he'll pass it in deep. Back to another King player. Whoa, save Johnson over to the near side. Kings will chase it down. Uh-oh. And over to Duncan Hill. He's going to carry it out with some speed. Across the neutral zone there. Back to Burks. Back to Blevins. And he'll enter the zone. Courts comes in from behind there. Can't find the puck for a second. Blevins chipped it in a little further and back to McCoy at the blue line. Ooh, fanned on the shot. And here come the Kings. Back across the neutral zone. Burke's back to defend, and Courts picks up. Almost picked it off there for a second. Another King in the slot. And Blevins picks it off. Carries it across the neutral zone up the near side. Sends a shot. Glove save Kings. 8:47 remaining in the second period. Go to the net. Their goalie's huge. Crash the net. Cook at center, Viviano and Richardson on the wing, Moldenauer and Nafziger on defense. Cookie for the face-off over to Viviano on the near side. He'll send it back to the near corner. Kings pick it off the boards there, and back to Nafziger, held it in, send it over to the far side, and Richardson's going to chase it down. Nope, Kings get there first. They'll send it off the back wall over to Easton Cook. Loose puck in front of the net. Kings swat it back over the near corner, and they'll get there on the near side. Back to Nafziger, held it in, sends it in deep, looking for Viviano. He'll send it around the boards, and Kings are racing across the zone with no one to stop them. Back across the neutral zone they come, and Moldenauer made a move on him. Puck goes through the crease there, or right in front of it anyway, over to the near side. And Easton Cook sends it back to the blue line. Back to Nafziger, picked it off in the slot. He's going to carry it across the neutral zone. Up the near side. Sends a shot through the crease, over the near or far corner, looking for Richardson. And back to Moldenauer at the blue line. Sends another shot through some traffic. Save Kings. 7:34 remaining in the second. Face off in the Kings zone. Blevins at center, Ledbetter and Hill on the wing. Blevins for the face-off. Puck comes to Ledbetter. And here come the Kings up the far side. Burks is racing back for it. And save Johnson. She'll cover it up. 7:17 remaining in the second. Face-off in the Dragon zone. Blevins at center. Hill, Ledbetter on the wing. Jackson McCoy is coming off. Moldenauer is going on, and we got Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Ooh, over to a King player. He almost got a shot, but he fanned on that. And back to Burks. Sends it up the near side and out to the neutral zone. Kings will race it down deep in their zone. Not deep in the zone, but in their zone. And back to Duncan Hill at center ice. Here comes Ledbetter. We're looking for Blevins. He'll chase it in up the far side, and oh no! Dragons back on side. Burks off of a King player. Ledbetter will scoop it in deep all the way to the near corner there. Nope, they're battling up. Now Blevins sends a shot. Glove save Kings. 6:34 remaining in the second period. Dragons down by 1. Face off in the King zone. Courts at center. Cook and Richardson on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. I think the Kings got their lines figured out now. Courts for the face-off, looking for somebody on the far side, and the puck squirts out to the neutral zone. Cross ice pass to Knapziger. He's going to carry it. Offside Dragons. Same lineup. Courts at center in the neutral zone, and Courts for the face-off. And he'll carry it in. Kings send it back out across the neutral zone. McCoy's racing back for it. Cross ice pass, looking for Knapziger, and couldn't get a stick on it in time. There it is. And out of the zone it goes. Courts is trying to race it down in the Kings zone, picks it off over to the near side. Dragons hold it in. Knapziger skates it up the slot, sends a shot off of a King player, and he'll chase it down, backhanded it off the side of the net, and the Kings send it over to the near side. Back to Richardson at the blue line. Fanned on the shot. And we're offside. Back to McCoy at center ice. And now we're onside. Courts dumps it in deep. And back to Richardson. On the far side. Passed back to Knapziger. Advances up the slot. Oh, just a little high and wide. And Blevins sends it over to the far side. Richardson races over for it. Gets there first. Passes it on the back wall. And Knapziger from the blue line. Back to the back wall again. And over to Richardson on the far side. Back to McCoy. Uh-oh, let it go there. And Knapziger's off to the races. But the Kings, just over the top of the net. Kings shot there, and then Kings send another one off the side of the net, and Courts picks it up, skates it up the far side boards with some speed, across center ice, and sends a shot behind the net over to the near side. And Duncan Hill comes in with some fresh feet, sends it back to the back wall. Courts is trying to race it down. Kings send it up the far side there. McCoy bounces it off the far boards. And Kings bring it over to the near side. Knapziger strips the puck. Back to Courts. Sends a shot. Save Kings. 4:01 remaining in the second. Dragons down by one. Face off in the Kings zone. Blevins for the face-off, back to Moldenauer, and he'll send it in a little deeper. Over to the near side, back to Burks. He'll send it up the near side boards. Couldn't quite hold it in there, and the puck's going all the way down. Should be an icing call, but it ran out of gas. Moldenauer will pick it up. He's not out of gas. Skates it right back out of the zone and all the way across the neutral zone. Sends a shot through the crease. Stick save. Netminder will poke check that over to the near corner, and Blevins comes in after it on the near side. Bounced it off the back wall there. Duncan Hill comes in. And Kings bring it up the far side, back out of their zone. Moldenauer and Burks back to defend. Save Johnson. And Hill brings it up to Blevins. Dragons can't power it out of their zone there. Burks will race it back behind the back of the Dragons net. Up the far side. Looking for a Dragon. And found Blevins. And he'll race it across. Got in front. Sends a shot. Save Kings. And Viviano keeps it inside. Sends another shot up the slot there. Almost got deflected. And did get deflected to the back wall. And then Blevins comes back to help Duncan. Paddle it up. Oh, looking for Viviano. Just didn't have the right angle there. And puck comes back out to the neutral zone. Moldenauer races it down. Found Blevins on the near side. Offside Dragons, I guess. I didn't see anybody in the zone, but that doesn't mean anything. Nafziger and McCoy in defense. Courts at center. Back to Nafziger. Back to McCoy. And Courts will carry it in. Got out ahead of him there. Tries to swat it through some Kings traffic. And Richardson sends a shot. Save Kings. Puck comes back to the far side. And Richardson's in hot pursuit. So is Courts. Courts keeps it in, gets it to Richardson. And Courts holds it in again. And we're offside. Yeah, throw the face out. Kings dump it all the way down deep. Burks picks it up. Picks up some speed around the back of the net. Sends it off the far side boards there. Kings held it in. And towards the net. Moldenauer got in the way of that. Burks sends it over to the far corner. Burks back to Moldenauer. Battling with a King player. And back to Courts. Courts picks it up. Skates it out of the Dragon zone. Oh! What the hell was that? Got an elbow in his back skating up the ice there. And Cookie sends, fans on the shot. Richardson sends one on, save Kings. Back to Burks at the blue line, and he'll send it over to Moldenauer in the neutral zone on the far side. Sends it in deep, all the way to the back wall. And Cookie wins the race back to the near corner there. Puck comes back to Burks, back to Cook, back to King player, and he's going to carry it out to the neutral zone. Moldenauer stripped the puck there, passed it back to a King at the blue line, and Burks tried to get it out but couldn't. And puck goes on net, save Johnson. Over to Courts. Courts carries it up the far side. Back across the neutral zone, lost the puck there, and he'll send it off the far side boards looking for Houston Richardson, and the Kings steal the puck away, and that's going to do it for the second period of play, folks. Dragons down by 1 again after 2 periods. I don't remember the times for next weekend. We're not even officially into this weekend yet. It's still Friday. But next weekend, I think we have a doubleheader against the St. Jude Knights up at Flossmoor. So I'll get those times written down and give them to you this weekend. But those are the next league games coming up. 2 league games next weekend, and I think we got, after that, a couple of home games and some games in Peoria, so it'd be nice to get a rest from the travel at least for a little bit coming up, hopefully. All right, period 3 starts now. Final period in regulation. Blevins at center, Viviano and Ledbetter on the wing. Blevins for the face-off. And we got Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Nafziger carries it in. Chases it down on the far side. Sends a shot on net. Save Kings. Back to McCoy at the blue line. Sends another shot over some traffic. Save Kings again. Face off in the Kings zone on the far side. 11:39 remaining in regulation. Blevins at center. Ledbetter and Viviano on the wing again. Back to Nafziger. Rocket swoon. Tries to rocket one up the slot. Didn't have any gas on it. And it went back to Viviano. And Kings chase it down on the near side. Viviano comes in after it. And puck spills out to the neutral zone. McCoy's racing back for it. Holds it into the neutral zone, gets it back to Viviano, and he's trying to muscle it up the near side, back to Nafziger, and we got a guy out in front. McCoy races over. And goal Kings. Dragons down by 2. 11:09 remaining in regulation. We're not dead yet. Courts at center, Richardson and Cook on the wing. Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Courts for the face-off. Over to Cookie. And Kings turn it around, take it the other way up the near side boards. Burks gets there first, sends it up to Richardson on the near side. He'll bring it up the near side boards, back out of the Dragon zone. Back over to Cook on the far side. And Courts to Cook. Back to, puck spilled out to the neutral zone. Burks sends it off the near side boards and down on the Kings zone. Kings try to slap it back up the near side. And Kings spill it back out. Burks will hunt it down in the neutral zone. Or the Dragon zone. Over to Moldenauer on the near side. Back to Burks. Advances back out to the neutral zone. Looking for Cookie on the far side. Cook chases it down. Goes to the net. Goal, Dragons! Easton Cook goal. 9:59 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. Blevins at center, Ledbetter and Hill on the wing, Nafziger and McCoy on defense. And Blevins for the faceoff. And battling with the referee's skates there. Kings advance it into the Dragon zone. Not with, we didn't let them do it. Here comes Blevins. Carries it back in on the far side. Hill comes in behind him, chases it down. And back to McCoy at the blue line. Sends a shot off of a King. Loose puck in the slot. Nafziger races over for it. Backhands it. Centering shot. Looking for Duncan Hill. Oh, dang. And Blevins. Shot. Loose puck. Whoa. Whoa. I'm pretty sure that went in. I think it did.
I can't see it.
Same lineup. Blevins for the face-off. Over to McCoy. Rockets one up the slot. Saucer shot. Oh, loose puck. And Hill chases it down in the far corner. Back to McCoy at the blue line. Sends another shot into some traffic over to the far or near corner. And back to Nafziger at the blue line. Sends it in deep again. All the way to the back wall. Duncan Hill looking for it. Picks it up. Oh, tried to get it to Blevins there, and here come the Kings. Nafziger and McCoy back to defend. Nafziger drives him to the outside. Save Johnson! 8:48 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. A lot of game left, folks. Face off in the Dragon zone.
Dragons!
Moldenauer at center. Richardson and Cook on the wing. Nope, sorry, that's Courts at center. Whoa, Courts at center. Moldenauer and Burks on defense. That's it. Here comes Braxton and over to Richardson, and puck goes back into the Dragon zone. Burks brings it out up the far side, looking for Richardson. He'll let the puck go down. Might have got tipped there all the way to the back wall, and the Kings get there first.
Come on, boys!
Here they come, up the near side. Cook held it in. Oh, sneaky little guy, isn't he? Back to Moldenauer, and he'll paddle it back into the King zone momentarily, or temporarily. And Burks tried to strip the puck. Puck goes all the way to the back wall, and Richardson comes in and takes it back. Right back out to the neutral zone. Icing has been called. 7:51 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. Blevins at center. Hill and Viviano on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. Blevins for the face-off. And over to Viviano. Back to a King player at the blue line, and he'll drive it in deep. McCoy will chase it down behind the back of the Dragons' net. Tries to get it over to the far side. Kings come in from behind. Oh! Duncan Hill ran into a guy in open ice. Nafziger squeezes it out to the neutral zone. Not sure where the puck is. Blevins drives it in up the near side. And back to McCoy. Over to the far side. Nafziger's going to race for it, and he'll get there. Carries it in up the far side. Sends a shot off the netminder, and I don't know where it went. Maybe it landed in his glove there. Yeah, probably did. 7:10 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. Face off in the King zone. Courts at center, Ledbetter and Viviano. Nope, Cook on the wing. Courts for the face-off. Kings send it out to the neutral zone. Burks will chase it down in the Dragon zone. Sends it off the near side, all the way down. That'll be an icing call. At the midnight special. That's not what song this is, by the way. I was just thinking about how late it is. Courts at center. Cook and Ledbetter on the wing. Burks and Moldenauer on defense. Courts for the face-off. Sends it to a King player in the slot. And that one goes wide, luckily. Cook picks it up on the near side. Ooh, can't quite paddle it out, but there he does. Back to center ice, and the Kings pick it up, but they lost. Blew a tire there, so does Courts. Something on the ice over there? What's going on? Yeah, we got an arm up in the air. No, we don't. Never mind. Back out to Cook in the neutral zone. Here comes Courts. Races it in up the near side into the King zone. Sends it through some traffic. Loose puck! Ow! Loose puck! Oh, Ledbetter had a sniff. He almost tried to shove it in there. Just couldn't quite get it in before the whistle. 6:11 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. Face off in the King zone. Pretty sure that King's goalie is the biggest person on the ice, including the referees. Good for them. Blevins for the face-off. Back to McCoy, and bounced it off a King player. Puck's loose in the slot, bouncing off everybody's feet. Nafziger paddled it back up. Richardson! Oh, launched one through the crease over the near side. And McCoy tried to peel it off. Here come the Kings. 2-on-1. Dragons, or Nafziger back to defend. Save Johnson! She'll cover it up in the blue paint. And we got, what? 5:45 remaining in regulation. Blevins at center. Viviano and Richardson on the wing. Burks and Moldenauer on defense. Here comes Blevins. Back out up the near side with some speed. Races it down. Goes to the net. Oh, got stripped, and he'll turn it around up the near side. Circles around again, trying to get for another shot. Viviano got in the way. The Kings trying to clear the zone. Puck comes back out to Moldenauer. Pass it over across ice to Burks. He'll send it in deep.
Go, boys, let's go!
And puck escapes back to the neutral zone again. Moldenauer back to defend. Kings send it in deep, and Burks picks it up behind the Dragons' net. Looking for Viviano on the near side, and he finds him. He escapes the zone, bounces it off the near side, and Kings are back off to the races. No, they're not. Moldenauer kept it out of the Dragon zone there. There we go. Kings advance back in. Burks got in the way. Strips the puck. Carries it back out to the neutral zone. Go! Cross ice pass to Blevins. Oh, got two guys on him in the way there, and he'll follow it all the way to the back wall in the Kings zone. Richardson came in from behind. There's Burks. Back to Richardson. Turns it around. Sends a shot wide. And Viviano comes in behind the Kings net. And over to the near side. Blevins tries to chase it down. Kings bring it out. Moldenauer back to defend. And they'll send it in deep all the way to the back wall. Burks picks it up behind the back of Addie's net. Turns it around. Goes the other way. Up the near side, sends it back out to the neutral zone. No, he doesn't. Kings must have picked it off inside the zone. Ooh, Burks stopped the shot with his body there. And back out to the neutral zone. Clock rolling down to 3:40 left in regulation. Courts is in hot pursuit in the Kings zone. Back to, outside of Blevins' stick there. Couldn't quite reach it. Back to Knapziger. Back up to Blevins again in the neutral zone. Whoop. And there he goes. In clean up the near side. Sends a shot off of a King player. Loose puck. And puck comes over to the near corner. Cookie tries to center one up. Puck still loose, and there's Blevins. Back to McCoy at the blue line. Sends a shot. Oh, deflected. Kings almost deflected it in, and Cookie got the shot. I can't tell where the puck is, but it is not inside the goal line. 3:01 remaining in regulation. We got to make something happen here, folks. All right, Courts at center. We're missing a wing. There we go. Blevins and Cook on the wing. Moldenauer and Burks on defense. Courts for the face-off, sends one over to the crease, and Burks tried to keep it in, couldn't quite do it, so he's going to buy himself some time. Sends it over to the near side, and Blevins comes in after it. Oh, just couldn't carry it in there, and Moldenauer will send it in. Courts tries to chase it down. Back to the blue line we go, and Blevins back to Burks. Lost the puck there, and he found it. Back to some Kings. And we got a guy off to the races here, but Courts is in the way. Puck bounces off to the back wall behind the Dragons' net. And Moldenauer sends it up to Blevins. Across the neutral zone we go. What? .218 remaining in regulation. Offside call, apparently. Let's go Dragons. Face off in the neutral zone with 2:18 remaining in regulation, and we got to get something here quick. Blevins at center. Courts and Cook on the wing. Nafziger and Moldenauer on defense. Blevins for the face-off. Chips it into the Kings zone, and Kings come back with it. Back to Moldenauer on the near side. And Kings push it into the Dragon zone. Nafziger takes that shot and over to the far side. Dangles through some Kings traffic there. Got a stick on it there. So did Moldenauer as the puck went back to the back wall. And we got an arm up in the air. Looks like we're going to have a Dragons power play. With 1:53 remaining in regulation, face-off in the Kings zone. Looks like the coach doesn't like the call. Blevins at center. Blevins for the face-off. Back to Moldenauer. Oh, tried to send a slapper. Oh, puck goes to the back wall, and puck's still loose in front of the net. Back to Nafziger. Sends it through some traffic. Looking for Cookie. Oh, almost found it. Courts. Goal! Dragons! Braxton Courts ties the game. Power play goal. Dragons and Kings tied at 3 apiece. Whoop.
No shots! No shots!
Courts at center, Viviano and Hill on the wing. Nafziger and Moldenauer on defense. Courts for the face-off. Puts loose in the neutral zone there, and Kings bring it up the far side. Hill drives him to the outside. Nafziger's with him. Puck's loose in front of the net, and over to Duncan Hill. Races it out of the Dragon zone, across center ice. All the way down, up the near side, and lost the puck there. And Viviano's in to help. Hold it in. Hold it in. Nafziger held it in. Over to the far side, dang it. Oh, jeez. 58.9 remaining in regulation. Dragons down by 1. Face off in the neutral zone. Timeout, Kings. Remaining on the clock. Dragons down by 1. Face off at center ice. Courts at center, I think. Blevins and Cook on the wing. Nafziger and McCoy on defense. And we got less than a minute to tie this bad boy up. Let's go, Dragons. This is Pekin Dragons 10UAA hockey. Courts for the face off. Drags it through the feet, over to Blevins, and puck's loose to center ice. Nafziger comes in, and puck goes all the way down. Icing call, I think. Yep. On the side we want to be on. Looks like we've pulled our goalie, so we'll have 6-on-5 for, well, until the play stops anyway. Blevins at center. Cook and Courts on the wing. McCoy and Burks and Nafziger on defense. 11's for the face-off to Moldenauer, and Rockets one up the slot. Kings pick it up behind their net, and they'll take it up the far side. Oh, Nefziger held it in. No, he didn't. Offside Dragons. Face-off in the neutral zone. Hey, we got our goalie pulled. It's not a big deal, bro. Coach for the face-off. Puck spills back to the neutral zone. McCoy tries to drive it in. Kings hold it, send it down in deep. 25 seconds remaining in regulation. Nefziger picks it up, skates it behind the back of the Dragons' net, picks up some speed and carries it up. Out of the Dragon zone, all the way across the neutral zone with some speed. Fires it from the face-off, circles. Glove save, Kings. Face-off in the Kings zone. 12.1 seconds remaining in regulation. Blevins for the face-off. Cook and Viviano. Oh, Nefziger couldn't quite hold it in there, and I got a guy down here on the ice. Looks like Cookie will go off for elbowing call here. 4 seconds remaining on the clock. Face off in the Dragon zone. And looks like Addie will come back out for her place in net, and we'll be down a man for 4 seconds. Levins for the face-off. And that's going to do it, folks. Dragons defeated in Game 2 by a score of 3-4. They race back to congratulate their netminder on a game well played. That was a good game. Dragons and Kings line up at center ice for the congratulatory fist bump this time. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at 9:45 a.m. for a bout versus the Rockets of St. Louis, I believe. Thanks for watching, folks. This is 33's Daddy. We'll see you in the morning, bright and early. Let's go, Dragons!